do-rags, wave cream, brushes. Get the best products for your 360 waves at wavymerch.com.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Nick Wavy. I'm back with a new video. Now, this is a video that I've wanted to do for quite some time, but I wasn't able to do it because the whole industry that I was in was extremely censored. I still don't even feel comfortable mentioning the name of the industry that I was in and the business that I had. But if you guys go on my channel and you check out my other videos, and if you go on my Instagram and you check out my page, you'll get an idea and you'll see exactly what business I'm talking about. If you guys remember, I was on YouTube extremely heavily since maybe 2012. And around 2020 is where I kind of started to step back. I wasn't making as much content. You could arguably say I disappeared. When I disappeared, I went on a new journey. I started a new business and it was called Wavy Buds. This industry took a lot out of me. I dedicated my entire life to making it, to surviving, to trying to expand. And that was my new baby. It was YouTube, then it was Wavy Merch, and then it was Wavy Buds. Now this business, it employed multiple people and it was my entire livelihood. I was making money on it and it was an established, profitable business. But even though it was profitable, I still paid more than money to achieve that profit. And I'm gonna break these down into 4 categories. First thing that it affected was my money. The second thing that this business affected was my living situation. The third thing this business affected was my creativity. And the final thing that this business affected was my ambition. Now, this business was very profitable. I was one of the first stores in my area to open. So a lot of the customers just flooded to my store. At the time, my rent was $1,250 a month. My insurance was $500. My POS fee was $500. So all in all, I think I was paying $2,500 a month, including payroll, to have my store operational, which is not much. Before you even open your store, you have to put your application in to open. To do this, you already have to have a retail store set up. I had my store and I'm paying rent every month until it was my turn for them to authorize me. So this took, I think it was 10 months that I just paid rent. There's nothing going on in my store and I'm just losing money waiting. So I'm already in the hole and I don't want to put more money in the industry because I don't know if this is even going to be profitable. Once I finally opened, I had to work majority of the hours so I can reestablish my fund, and then I could use that fund to now purchase more products. And then once I have a fully stocked inventory, the next step would be for me to step away and start hiring people and let them run the business, because now we have a comfortable flow. For the first month, we were profitable. I seen my profits just go up. Revenue was going up. My customer clientele base was going up and everything was great. But the issue with my store was they were gonna tear down my building. So I had to leave within, I think I had a 2-year lease, and I had to relocate as soon as possible because the 2 years is gonna come and they're tearing down this building. I can't even negotiate for another lease. So I think 3 months into operation, we're making a lot of money now. My expenses are really low and profits are really high. So I told myself, let's expand. This is the time for us to spread our wings, open new locations, and now let's start taking over the city. So I opened 2 more locations. I opened one on Danforth and I opened one on Weston Road in the West. And I still have my location in Scarborough. Now this is where things got really messy. Each store that I opened, I put $50,000 into it. And when I open businesses and when I start businesses, I pay cash because let's say my business fails or let's say something happens, I still have to pay that money back regardless of whether my business did good or not. If I use my own money and the business fails, I'm not necessarily in debt after this. So I can just start from scratch. I'm at zero, no problem. So I paid $50,000 for one store and $50,000 for the other store. And that's on the bare minimum. So my inventory was really low. My build out was very basic. So now my rents have tripled, my payroll has doubled, but my workload has also doubled because I need to work all the hours at the other location. So now I'm working much more, my expenses are much higher, and I have no more money. So I just spent $100,000 on opening these new stores, and on my main street on Kingston, my competitors, which were 2 stores down, I had to buy them out, and now I take over their lease, their inventory, and their everything. But once I did that, I really had no more money because I just spent 100 G's opening 2 other locations, but now I have to secure the Kingston Road location because that's my main bread and butter. So then I paid another 50 grand to secure the 3rd location, and now I have absolutely no more money and I'm tapped out. Like, I paid cash for all of this and it's tough. And the issue with this is now I'm operating 3 locations with no fund because I spent all my money. The 2 other locations were extremely slow, and when I was completely stretched financially, I had to look at everything and say, look, the quality of my life sucks, business is slow, let me just cut my losses. I can't have 3 stores, let me have 2. So I closed one of the stores, and then to close one of the stores, I have to pay to cancel my lease. So I literally had my lease for maybe like 2 months, and I'm breaking a 5-year contract. So I'm getting penalized to break that contract. The first contract that I broke, I had to pay a $6,000 fee just to break the lease. So now that's another 6 grand gone. But now I have 2 locations. So now it's much more affordable. I have more breathing room, but it's still very stressful. The 3rd location, I started to look at everything and I'm like, you know what? I don't think I did a good job picking this location. And I don't think it's gonna do any better. I think this is gonna get worse. Let me cut my losses. So now I closed that location. And when I closed that location, I had to pay 12 grand to break that contract. And literally I just blew, I think I just spent like $150,000 gone, and that's cash. So now at this point in my life, I'm tapped out. I have no more money. I have no more energy because operating the 3 stores took so much out of me. It killed my ambition because this was the first time in business where I ever took a loss that badly. I'm the type of man where if I take a loss, I'm not even worried. I'm just gonna bounce back. I'm gonna try harder. I'll do something different. When I decided to expand, my idea was, okay, I'm gonna have 3 stores. They're all gonna be jumping. Everything's gonna be bringing in money. Everything's gonna be great. And then when it didn't go according to plan, and now I'm holding this massive loss, it really hurt me. And this was the first time in my life where I actually took a step back and I said, I can't be so optimistic in business. I have to be realistic. So that was a $150,000 lesson, but I've carried that lesson with me for the rest of my life because every other business endeavor that I've ventured off into, I don't look at it like this is gonna work right away, this is gonna pop off, this is gonna be blessed. No, I say this could work, and these are the ways that it could work, but on the flip side, this is how it could be bad. And it might actually be bad before it gets good. And that allows me to make smarter business decisions, and I'm able to think more thoroughly before I make a decision. This industry killed my creativity because the fact that it's still illegal in certain countries, online platforms don't push the agenda or businesses focused on that. I also can't pay for ads. I can't post anything on my Instagram. If I post something on my IG, Facebook and Meta, they'll be like, okay, you're selling illegal things. I had my page banned. I had my page shadow banned for a year because I got a violation strike. So I wasn't even able to create videos on social media and post because my page is banned. It just makes no sense. And then that whole situation really killed my ambition because I no longer can utilize my bread and butter, which is my creativity and my social media platforms. So I got into the habit of staying quiet. I got into the habit of not posting. I got into the habit of, let me just go to work, run my business, and then do it again the next day. There was no room for growth, but there was a lot of room for failure. It also affected my living situation because when I decided to open my 2nd location, I had a condo by the water and I would never be at home because I'd be at work every day. So I told myself, I had the genius idea, let me not rent anymore, okay? Let me give up my condo and let me use that money to open another store. Where are you gonna live, Nick? What are you gonna do? Oh, that's okay. I'm gonna live in the basement of one of my stores. There's no shower, there's no kitchen. It's literally, it's like a room. I had to crawl underneath my staircase to use my air fryer. If I wanted to take a shower, I would have to go to the gym early morning and shower and then get back to work before 9 o'clock to open my store. And then I would stay there all day until 10 o'clock at night. I did this for like 2-3 weeks and it was hell. I never want to go through that again. At the time, it made a lot of sense because if I'm paying rent and I'm never home and I'm always at work, why don't I literally take that rent money, open another location, and that location could potentially make money. And this was the mistake I made as the businessman I used to be because I thought that everything would just work out, which is not always the case. And that's why I say now I'm a more realistic investor, I'm a more realistic businessman, and I look at the potential benefits and I also look at the potential downsides of an operation, and then I use those ideas, and then that helps me make a more logical decision. This is a topic that I had to discuss because I've never spoken to you guys about it, and you guys may have no idea. You guys may have been curious as to where I was through all these years. I was taking some L's, man. Yeah. No, mind you, the whole business was profitable. I walked away with money. I was profitable every single day at Wavy Buds. Not only did I make money, but I also became a much more adept businessman. I'm so much smarter now than when I was back then. And the only reason why I gained this knowledge was because I had to pay to lose, which allowed me to learn. So my experiences now, yeah, I know certain things that can make a business work, but I know so much more ways of how business can fail. And I use those methods now, and I use that idea and that experience to every idea that I have moving forward, and that makes me much smarter. So I think moving forward, any other business endeavor I have, I'm gonna be able to look at it from a broader point of view instead of just an optimistic, this is gonna be great opportunity, which made me a better businessman. I guess the lesson in this whole video is you have to really think things through. You can't just go into business and expect it to work. Not even business, just anything. You have to have an open mind and really ask yourself, is this going to work? What can go right and what can go wrong? Once you do that, weigh your options and you'll be able to make a better decision. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. RIP to, that business. It taught me a lot. It made me a better man, made me a smarter man. It also made me a richer man. But it's time to move on, and I want to get back into social media because this is what I love. I love being creative, I love being ambitious, and I love trying new things. And I feel like when I have social media and YouTube, it makes me feel good and it gives me the opportunity to try new things. And I'm looking forward to that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys press the like button. Make sure you guys subscribe. Post a comment down below if there's anything you want me to talk about. Hit me up on IG, Nick_Wavy, and we'll catch you on the next video.